No Man's Sky has put out a new update. The endurance update is 3.94 update. It's not the big major summer update, but it's an update and there is a good chunk to this. I'm Controlled Chaos and I'm gonna go through all of the things that are in this update. Let's get started. So first off, you're gonna notice here that it's predominantly dealing with overhaul of the freighters and space and stuff like that. They've redone how you can build on your freighters. They've added a lot, such as these walkways on top of your freighters so you can be out in space. They've added in module rooms so you can have rooms that will have flora in it and different areas to have different looks, which is really nice. They've added in dynamic crews, so now there will be crew members walking around your ship. It will feel like your settlement, and this is awesome. It makes your freighter come alive, and this is great because not only is it just people walk around, but you will see the wingmen that you hire walking around your ship and doing stuff, and that's really nice. It adds more to the game. It adds more immersion, and adding immersion is always good, especially for players, and it's great for developers. The reason why it's good for players is it makes it feel like you're in a living world. It brings you in even more and makes you forget that you're playing a game. For developers, it makes it so that people will play the game longer. It adds to the play value for the player, and that's really good because if people are playing the game longer, they're going to really enjoy and buy other games from that developer. I mean, look at what No Man's Sky's done with all these updates. It causes more and more people to come and buy the game. That's the reason they're giving us these updates for free. Originally, it was to make up for not having all the features in the game, but they've surpassed that. There's still some features missing, but for the most part, they've surpassed that. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. You got agricultural modules. So you can really have a lot of wildlife in your frigate, which is nice. We have enhancements to black holes. The cinematics and the visuals of black holes have been greatly increased. So it's going to be a new experience going through black holes, which will be interesting. Then we have the exterior freighter building. This is where I was talking about walkways outside of your freighter. This will be fun to play around with because you'll get some really interesting shots and screenshots and things like that. So people who like to share videos of just building stuff or pictures of really scenic cool stuff, you'll get some really cool space shots that will be epic and different because there's even more added to space. So you explorers out there and you builders will have a lot of fun with this update. Next, base building. They enhance the quality of life of base building on planets. So you builders out there, like I know Bumblebee, he likes to build and stuff like that. And so you'll be able to enhance the quality of life of building stuff on your bases and on ground. In space, they made it so that, let's say you place down the wrong module room area in your frigate, instead of having to delete it and then put another one in, you can just swap them out. This is really nice. This makes base building that much quicker on your frigates, and that's really going to cut down on the time of it takes to build out the base the way you want it if you make mistakes. I know I make mistakes. We're all human. It happens. So the fact that they know this and that they made a system to allow us to fix those mistakes that we make is really just that extra oomph to it that adds to them thinking. Freighter variety. They enhanced the textures on the freighters. This is really, really nice because we fly really close to our freighters when we're going to land, and adding in a better normal map just really adds in that feel. Really great feel cinematically for when we're landing, but also once again, those people that like to take those screenshots, this just adds more to your screenshots. This makes your photography look that much better. And as we were talking about with adding in the different rooms, you got these windows here which look really cool, and then we have the organic frigates. This is really nice because now if you're a person who likes the living ships and the living frigate that we got from the Leviathan one, this adds to it. You can now have a whole entire fleet of living frigates for your fleet, and that's awesome. So if you like the living frigate look and the living ship look in No Man's Sky, you can really expand onto that, and they all look different. They have randomized colors, randomized parts, and things like that, just like all the other ships have, and going from there. So you can really go from there. And the great thing is when you send these out, they have special mechanics to them that will add things interesting. We have new doors and windows to put onto our frigate, or our freighter, not our frigate, our freighters. And with this, you'll be able to get some really cool views. You can create viewing rooms to check out stuff. Once again, this adds in to those people who like doing photography or just enjoying really cool scenery. You can create rooms just to do that, and that's really nice. And once again, they're showing off more floor type rooms here. Then there is the expedition. This comes with a new expedition. I'll be doing videos on this expedition, so you'll be able to get more out of this. I'll have videos going over that later. I just want to get you the update of what all is included in this update. You have enhanced nebulas. This is where I was talking about the photographers or the people that want really cool space scenery. Nebulas will really enhance your scenery. Nebulas can make things look really, really nice, and you can get interesting effects out of nebulas. Not only do they enhance nebulas, but they also enhance the inhabitants of hangars. And the inhabitants of hangars really makes your hangar feel alive. It's going to be bustling with not just ships coming and going, but people walking around and doing stuff. Once again, adding to the feel of life on your freighter, which will be nice. Living ships. If you liked living ships, but there wasn't enough there for them to be usable for you, this has now changed. Living ships got upgrades. They got an overhaul. They added in more parts. These parts that they added in is you now have an economy scanner and a conflict scanner for your living ship. You now have parts that allow you to stop being scanned, just like we have on our regular ship, and more. So you'll want to check those living ship upgrades. The great thing is when you send out your living frigates to do missions, you can send them out to specific ones to get these parts for your living ships. So there's that nice blend together of this with the living frigates and the living ships. It gives you something new and interesting to do on frigate missions. And of course, it talks about the expedition rewards, which I'll be going over in depth later on. You have a hangar teleport. Are you tired of walking from the hangar to the bridge. You now have a teleport that will teleport you up there, getting you up there quickly for when you're in a rush to get things done. You have another objective to do, and that's a good quality of life thing to this. Then your derelict freighters, the atmospheres have been changed and enhanced. This will make it interesting and more feel of to doing those derelict freighter missions, which is nice for us who like to go out and do action type oriented stuff, which is really good. Now you have stellar extractors. This allows you to get those gases and certain resources out of the solar system. This is a great add-on to the frigate. This really adds a value of life and something new to the frigate that's different. This gives us another way of gathering resources. I'm adding this to my frigate 100%. My freighter will have this. I mean, it's just gonna be awesome. Then new asteroids. The updates to asteroids is really great. I've been wanting to see an update to asteroids, not just visually, but gameplay mechanics wise, because before this update, in order to find resources, you had to randomly shoot to get the resource, and you wouldn't really know what you get unless you hit the big asteroids that you literally had to tear apart in multiple chunks. That normally gave you silver, sometimes gold. Now you can scan your asteroids. You can scan them and get exactly what resource they hold, so you can pick and choose what asteroids you destroy, making asteroid mining even more viable. And the fact that they enhanced the way asteroids work, they're no longer constantly in big clumps, they're in small patches, big patches strewn out and stuff like that, really adding to the feel of space. Because space isn't that way. Space isn't organized and nice like they had the asteroids. It's chaotic. It's like me. It's controlled chaos out there in space. And so with that being said, with these asteroids having that controlled chaos added to them, which I guess they put me in the game. I'm sorry, I had to. Anyways, we'll continue on with that whole entire resource thing. That's really nice. You now have freighter technology modules. So you know those technology modules you'd put on your base for the exocrafts and the scientist and the building blueprint guy and stuff like that. You now have these to be put on freighters. Yeah, you could put the original ones on freighters, but it looks here like they have new ones specific to freighters. This adds a lot of new gameplay in. I mean, I have to go in and really play around and show you guys some of this stuff and do some tutorials on this. Third person freighter warping. This is going to be fun. This is going to be cool. This is going to add sort of that Star Trek, Star Wars type feel when you warp with the freighter. And it's going to add some really cool cutscenes that you can put into movies and things like that to create some cinematics. So any of you YouTubers out there that like doing story-driven content on YouTube or wherever you're posting your videos, you can now have a new way of creating some cutscenes and some interesting stuff like that. That's gonna be really fun for you guys. Then we have Twitch campaigns. They've added more to Twitch campaigns. You'll be able to get more ships, more weapons, and stuff like that. So you'll want to watch your favorite streamer on Twitch and get these Twitch drops. I don't stream on Twitch, so you won't be able to get mine. I focus on YouTube, but there are others out there that also do Twitch. So go follow them and watch their streams so you can get some of these drops and some of these cool items that you're seeing here. That is pretty much a good thing. Now, if you're into combat and you like combat, there is a Sentinel Pillar multiplayer mission added in. This is going to be fun. Go out there, do these missions with your fun. Enjoy the time doing these missions. That's really going to be interesting to see how this all works out. And I can't wait to see some videos come out from people that do missions together. You also have the Cosmic Voyages. You'll have things that you'll run into that are new. You have freighter engine customization. You can customize your freighters engines and how they look and how they spool up and things like that. That's going to be really nice. Then you have a planetary scanner module. You'll be able to do planetary probes and discover all of the celestial bodies in a solar system. This gives you something new and fun to do on your freighters. Teleport to your frigates. You can now do significant abilities to teleport directly between your fleet and your capital ship. That's interesting. That's going to be cool to play around with. I'll have to show more of that. The asteroid harvesting I was telling you about, here's a video showing it now. You're going to be actually able to scan them and stuff like that. And see really interesting results from harvesting your asteroids. Now you have the glass freighter corridors. You have the new doorways, the new hallways, the new walkways for the space. You have freighter icon tech refresh. So the technical stuff that you'd have, that you'd add on to your ship, they've refreshed the icons on those, gave them new looks, enhanced the looks of them, and they look really nice. Long distance object fidelity. This is a good one for when you're going on to a planet. And the reason being is normally you'd have to fly in really close to see where batches of the trees were, batches of rocks were, stuff like that, and it would waste time. With this, you can now be higher up and see, oh, there's the batch of trees I need to go get carbon, or there's the batch of rocks I need to go get ferrite dust and stuff like that. So you'll want to love this feature itself. The fact that they added in long distance object fidelity is really nice. It's a great enhancement. I'm glad that they worked on this. Now, asteroid inhabitants. This is a really cool one because now when you destroy those asteroids, there will be living things in those asteroids. And that adds some interest and wonder to when you're doing this. And that's really nice feel to it. The next thing we have is the freighter bridge updates. You can now adjust the visual effects on. They've improved the lighting, the stairs, and add teleporters and things like that that just add to the feel of the bridge. It enhances the bridge greatly, which is nice. You have the freighter cargo hold inventory has been upgraded. You can upgrade the hull and expand on the bulkheads and things like that. You have, of course, the freighter teleporter. So instead of using a regular teleporter, you now have a module that has the teleporter on it. So it's no longer, is this precisely in the center of this area? You just get it right away. And that's going to make things a lot quicker for you. You have the freighter industrial modules. This will allow you to refine storage containers, orbital exocrafts, and engineering bay and themed rooms. That's going to be really cool. So you can create literally a manufacturing room. You can create literally an operatorium and stuff like that. Then we have infested multiplayer missions. So not only do you have the Sentinel missions, you now have an infested multiplayer. So there's more combat added to this. This is a nice, well-rounded update. It's got a lot to it. No one specific on one thing, but it adds to it. Space anomaly. For you explorers out there, there are now space storms. You'll run into lightning storms and stuff like that. There's some cool stuff to see. From what I hear, these storms do not damage your ship. But look at this great shot that they took. Photographers are going to have fun in No Man's Sky. I can tell you that right now with this update. It's gonna be nice. I hope you enjoyed all of this information I gave you, and keep an eye out for future videos where I go over some of this stuff and I go over the new expedition added in and give tips and tricks on how to do the expeditions. If you enjoyed this update and this was helpful for you and you're excited for No Man's Sky, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Have a great day.